As I came here, I realized there's a lot happening in this country today I don't understand. I really don't understand. I got a lot of friends back home. I have friends in black and white, Asian, Hispanic, every race, every nationality. I talk to them, they don't understand what's happening in this nation today. I try to put my finger on it, but I'm kind of losing track of where are we going? And wherever it is we're going, why aren't we going there together? Why don't we keep dividing ourselves and using different issues to divide ourselves? I mean, I don't understand why George Floyd died under the knee of a police officer. I really don't. I was horrified when I watched the video of him, regardless of what his race is. That was horrific. I don't understand why that happened. But I also don't understand why, in response to his seemingly murder, it was seemed appropriate to destroy the homes, the businesses, the livelihood of innocent people who had nothing to do with it in the same community. I don't understand that. I don't understand why retired Police Chief David Dorn was gunned to death as he was trying to protect one of these businesses, a business owned by someone who had nothing to do with any of this. I don't understand why Shay Michelonis, a Las Vegas police officer, was shot in the head while attempting to disperse a group of protesters. I don't understand why Dave Patrick Underwood, a federal protective service officer, was shot and killed while on duty amid protests in Oakland, California. I can't wrap my hands around that. I don't understand why 4 St. Louis police officers were shot at a peaceful protest that turned violent. 2 shot in the leg and 1 shot in the foot and the 4th in the arm. I don't understand why in New York City a police officer was attacked and beaten by several men while onlookers encouraged them to do that. A police officer had nothing to do with what happened to George Floyd or the young man in Brunswick, Georgia, or in Atlanta. Mr. Speaker, there's something else I don't understand. I don't understand why 3 years ago this month I was on a baseball field when a man crazed by extreme political ideology walked on the baseball field and started shooting bullets at me and many of my colleagues. I don't understand why that happened. There's something else I don't understand. As I was there in the line of fire, I don't understand why one of our Capitol Police officers who didn't know anything about me, we weren't friends at the time, he walked into the line of fire to draw fire away from me and one of my colleagues so we could hopefully get to his partner and Matt Micah, who had been wounded by the police officer, by the shooter. I know the Bible tells us that there is no greater love than someone would lay down their life or willingly lay down their life for someone else. And when I see that officer walk out in the line of fire to protect me, who didn't know me, a black man, I'm a white man, I sometimes wonder, why do they do that? My dad served in the Army. He was on the D-Day invasion, and I often wonder why they would step off those boats for people that they don't know and walk into the line of fire. I mean, these are things that I really don't understand. I also don't understand why we're not working together to improve law enforcement in this nation. I don't know why the media and some here want to take the action of 1 or 2 or a few and apply it to law enforcement all across the board. When I've seen what these law enforcement officers do, they put their lives on the line daily for us. I don't know what the answer is, but I do know those who do, and I called on the police chiefs in my district to get together and let's talk about this, and we met yesterday. And you know, there's some stuff that we all agree on that they agree on. There's plenty of things that they want to see happen. They all agree that we should hold officers more accountable. They also agree that we should have a database to track those officers who are bad officers so they know that they're hiring someone who's had problems in other states or in other jurisdictions. That is a problem for them. This because these police chiefs, they want good law enforcement. They're there to serve the communities. They're there to uphold law and order. And something else I don't understand is when we see what's going on TV, why some of these officers actually show up to work the next day. And they go to try to protect the peaceful protesters, and they're attacked by the violent ones. And in some cases, get no support out of their leadership. I don't understand why they do that. Our police chief said they need more training. They need more funding. And one of the problems when it comes to cutting the budgets of our police officers and our police departments and law enforcement, usually the first thing that goes is training. They agree they need more training. We need more mental health support in this nation. The police chief told me that I would be surprised, and I'm going to spend more time with them. I spend a lot of time with our law enforcement already, but I'm going to go ride with them to experience some of this. I encourage all my colleagues to do this. They said they spend an unbelievable amount of time on calls of mental health issues that they really can't do anything about it because a person hasn't committed a crime. They may be on the verge of suicide, but they haven't committed a crime, and so they can't arrest them, and they just have to stay there with them. And sometimes they may get somebody to come out, and they may not. It puts them in a very difficult position, so they're all about doing more with mental health issues. There's a lot that we support. Now, I did hear it said earlier that this is not defunding the police, but let me tell you what 100% of the police chiefs in that meeting said to me. If you remove qualified immunity, you will be shutting down the police departments in America because they will not be able to retain their officers. That was 100% of the police chiefs. And they represent their police chiefs in all type of demographics. I've got part of Atlanta. I go all the way up into the rural parts of Georgia. But they 100% said, if you remove our qualified immunity, we will not keep police officers and you will shut down law enforcement in this nation as we know it. There was one other thing that they were 100% behind. Senator Tim Scott's bill. Every one of them was 100% behind what was in that bill. Now, a lot of it they already do. They ban chokeholds. They're way ahead of a lot of different departments. There are some things in this bill they agree with, but they're also 100% against this bill. 100% of the police chiefs I met with in my district, which was virtually all but a couple of departments, were against this bill in the way it's written right now. And the one thing that they asked for me to portray is let's not paint all law enforcement with a broad brush. Those police officers who are risking their lives, those good ones, they feel like they're getting kicked in the rear end by the politicians, local and at the federal level. They want us to work together. They want to see us work together. If we're going to call for unity in this nation, then we better start right here. Instead of trying to ramrod a political bill that is not going to go anywhere, and we know it, we should be here working together to get something done. That, Mr. Speaker, is what I don't understand right now. Why we're not doing that. I yield back.